Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So today is not a live webinar, it's a recorded video where I want to show you, just bring you up to speed with what is happening on Polymarkets. Have been trading, markets I look at, and a couple of stuff. And most of you have been watching and following and texting me as well with a lot of interest in the Polymarket and how to trade it and all that. And so far so good. The community is growing. If you have not joined our community, there's the link below. And the WhatsApp community has really grown. We're over 500 people right now. And things are going great. Most of you have gone through the course as well. You've given me feedback. And a lot of you are learning, okay, which is good. So today I just want to bring you up to speed, just to keep reminding you what opportunities are there, what is happening on Polymarket, different markets that are there, a few changes that they have had since we last were here, and opportunities you guys can take advantage of. Why wait? Why not learn and make some money on the go? Okay, so hope you've watched the previous video as well. If you're in the course, if you've gone through this course, and the link is below, if you don't have access to this free course, the link is below where I shared this link a couple of weeks ago. And if you haven't watched the previous video of how predictive markets work, this one that I did, the live webinar that I did and recorded and shared it on YouTube, make sure you go through it. The link is also below, so just go through it before you watch this video, because in this video I'm not going to explain what Polymarket is and all that. I did that in the previous video. So today I'm just picking up from where I left and starting up from there. Okay, so most of you have been able to go through the course. Remember, the access to the course, I believe you have access to the ESAs. These are the videos and these are ESAs. So like from module 2, the videos are private, because it took time and effort, research and data to come up with these sources of information, where I got them from. So they're quite private, only for the paid students. Remember, currently we have a 50% off. Course is to go for 20,000, but right now it's still at 10,000, because I'm still building up the course and using a lot of stuff to make the course come to life. So that's why we have it at offer, so that you guys can get full raw access to what I'm doing. The paid students already can have shared with them the trades I have running, how my account is, the profits I'm doing, the markets I'm looking at. And if you've paid, you have access to module 2, not module 2 but course 2, which is a continuation of module 3. You can see understanding liquidity and market volatility. So I've gone deeper, find markets that work for you. You go into module 4, strategies for successful trading, how to identify high value markets, okay, data driven decision making, case studies, looking at a few traders who made over $700,000 a month, how they're doing it and trying to sort of replicate what they're doing, following them, how to get that data. Then practical modules, how to deposit, taking profits, just like trading. Even in Polymarket, you can put take profits and all that, and I mostly do that. All my trades, I always have take profits. I never take a trade without having those setting take profits. Okay, and then one of the most important videos I've taught my students is this one, smart money trading and smart money trading part 2. The websites that I use to get access to deep information, how traders are trading, where the money is going, where the big money is being traded. So these are one of the most important videos I've done. This over $3,000 return on my account, on a certain trade that I took. It wasn't the overall account, but the certain trade I took. I've shared that video already in the group, so most of you have gone through it. My personal trading strategies, trading the crypto markets, understanding market timeframes, and much more. So if I much more to that. So if you're part of the paid students, you get access to that and much more. You're in the private group with the students, other students, and I keep you updated, sharing more information. Other than that, I hope you've gone through what Next Market is, what I'm working on now. Next Market and the education is totally different. Next Market Africa is a company that I started, that we are trying to create the Africa's first information markets, and that's something else on the side. So this is just sort of a brief preview of what is happening and what we're doing. So, and down here, make sure you also go through the weekly informative articles. What is Web3? How can you be part of it? So read this, okay, and just understand, and much more will be coming. So, cool. Now back to Polymarket. So Look, for the past almost 6 months, I've been going deep into Polymarket, understanding, coming up with strategies, looking at different markets that work well, and really understanding, just like trading, this is a new market. So just because I've been trading the Forex market for some time, the stock market, doesn't necessarily mean everything works exactly the same here. This is a new market, new players, and just a new, different approach that you need to understand how to approach it. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what I share real time with my students. Okay, so remember, I talked about this in a previous video, so today I want to get a bit deeper and look at other stuff, okay, on what I shared, what Polymarket is in the previous video. So make sure you watch that video. Now remember, I always say that I always come to Polymarket also to not only make money, but to stay up to date with what is happening around the world, like what is trending, what is happening in Canada. Will US enter into a recession? What are people saying about it? Have they put their money where their mouth is? Will Trump remove 10% blanket tariff by April? April is almost ending next week, so you can see that deal is on the low side. US Treasury yield above 5% by June. What are people saying about that? So it's a source of information as well, not just a platform to make money, especially with politics, economies, and all that, because I don't trade those ones as much. Part of the strategies that I share with my students is you really need to figure out what markets can give you an edge. So I don't go trading all markets. I don't come and guess and just open and say, okay, let me do this, let me enter NBA. I just hope Oklahoma City Thunder wins. No, you really need to have a certain approach to the markets. So, will Champions League, who will become the winner? You can see this is a market with almost $1 billion volume. NBA has a $2 billion volume. New markets have just started, like F1. If you're an F1 here, just started recently. F1 starts from around March all the way to December. So this is a new market. Volume will keep coming and all that. So it's interesting. It's interesting to look at these markets and just see what is trending around the world. Okay, now back to the markets I focus on. Crypto. I focus on crypto and tech. I have a background in these markets because tech, we're just basically talking about the stock markets and what is happening around the world in the stock markets. Okay, so I have an understanding of these markets. Then crypto, I've been investing in cryptos, but I found a way to trade in them in these markets. And crypto is one of my, in my portfolio, is one of my winning what is it called, winning market. Okay, all these are considered as markets. So if you search here, this is politics market, sports market, crypto market. So I've been making quite some money with the crypto market and tech market, and they've been working quite well and coming up with a strategy, and that's what I've been really working on. And I was sharing with my students yesterday that one of the biggest opportunities present themselves during the start of the month, and that's how I was able to make 3,000% return on the trade I had earlier on Microsoft. Okay, so it's important to find markets earlier on in the month, earlier on in the week. There are weekly markets, so you can see here there are monthly markets. Okay, monthly markets, weekly markets. Let me go to crypto because there are more here. So you can see the monthly markets, weekly markets, the daily markets like this one, and I tend to trade all of them, but they need an approach. It's not guesswork. It needs an approach looking at the stock market itself. So not stock market, but the actual charts on the market, looking at certain candlestick closes and all that. This is just my understanding of trading, and that's why I trade this market heavily. So it's important to have that. So there's opportunity for guys who are looking for monthly trades. There are opportunities for weekly and opportunities for day traders as well. The opportunities are a lot, and I tend to take advantage. I trade here more often than the other markets because opportunities tend to present themselves. You can easily turn $10 into $100. Like yesterday, let me show you, for example, Ethereum. So here, so there's this market. So it was just like this. Markets were quite down. It was here, and I made some money on this market as well. Unfortunately, we can't see the whole market. But it was quite an interesting one yesterday because markets went from 10% all the way to 100%. That the market won't be above, up or down by April 15. Okay, and it was quite an interesting market. You could see a lot of people made quite some money. I made some money on this market as well, and yeah, so it just depends on the markets. And it was simple because I went into the charts. I was looking at Ethereum here. You can see these are markets I'm looking at on information markets. Just using my background in trading, those are a certain candlestick close over here that was quite bearish, and that instituted for me to know that markets were going to be down for that day, and that's how I took that trade and made quite some money. So it's interesting. Depending on what you're interested in, there's a market for you. If you're interested in stocks, Trump, what he's saying, because I don't trade these ones, what Trump is going to do. So for me, you want to look for a market that you have an edge and a little bit, not control, but you have information that can help you. So for example, will Trump issue a gold card before June? So I do not have enough information about that. Okay, I don't know, it's not in my control. And also, I'm looking for markets that are not easily manipulated by the big players. Okay, there are markets here that can be easily manipulated just because someone has a lot of money, just like the stock and forex market. Sometimes you get those manipulations here and there. So I tend to look for markets with good volatility, good volume, that are not easily manipulated, because a very small money account market can easily be manipulated. So how do you find those ones? That's what I was sharing here in my course, like here, how to identify high value markets and data driven decision making. Okay, so I go through that. So that's Trump. So I tend to come here just to look at what is Trump saying. So I can see here, yes, people are issuing, there's a high chance that, there's a 50% chance that he might issue gold cards. Okay, will Trump create Bitcoin in his first 100 days? If you look at this market, first 100 days about to end. When the market started, there was quite some positivity on it. It was about 60%. But right now you can see this market ends April 29th. Okay, so just to show you a few things of how markets work, and I've shown this in a previous video. If you come to the free course and you come here, all these videos, you can watch these two videos. I've done a good introduction on that, but I'll do it the same. So a few things you want to look at before you ever take any trade. What are the things you want to look at? What do you need to tick before you take any trade? So you need to understand, first of all, the market you're trading. So for example, let's say you're trading the crypto market. You need to understand cryptos, how cryptos work, what are cryptos, what's Bitcoin, what's Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Doge, and all that. You need to understand those markets. So don't come and just guess. The next thing after doing that, at least have some background in looking at the markets here. Okay, how markets move up, what makes them go up, down, different time frames, the different markets that are there. Okay, different how markets move in a day. Can it reach a certain price in a certain day, and all that. Then number two, now you want to come and start looking for opportunities here. So you want to come and look at what will Bitcoin price hit. This is a very good market. You can see it has a very good volume, ends on April 30th. Okay, so this is a market that you come and look, okay, where is Bitcoin at the moment? Bitcoin is trading at around $84,000. Now, if you're a trader, that's what I'm saying. If you're a trader, then you can have a bit of understanding and speculation on whether market will go up towards 90,000, whether it will go down towards 80,000, 75,000, and all that. So you need that background and understanding. And then coming here and choosing a market. So if I believe markets will go up to 95,000 within the month, I can come here and say I want to buy yes shares. Okay, so depending on the amount I want to put, I can put 10, which can give me, if market actually goes to 95, depending on my analysis, I'll actually make 58. If I put $100, I can make about $570 dollars in that market. So you want to find a market with volume. I'll show you a market that doesn't have volume and how this can really change, okay, in terms of your average entry. So one thing you want to be looking at when you're buying anything here, you see this, yes, you want to look at the average price. Okay, average price that it will get you in. A market that does not have volume will have very high spread. So you might see here 17, but it's going to take you in at around 20. Okay, which will discount this money that you're going to make at the end of the day. So I'll show you that. So there are some prices that have already been hit and market resolved. So you can see market already hit 85,000, it hit 80,000 and 75,000 as the month started, and people already made money. That market is gone. That's why you're not seeing those prices here. That's why you're seeing a big jump from 90 to 70. Okay, now one thing before you do anything, and I told you guys this in a different video, if you don't understand a market and you want to learn it, you have to come and look at two things, okay? Market summary, which will be generated by AI. So if you don't understand this market, just get to understand it first. So Perplexity is going to do some summary for you. You're going to read this. As of this price, Bitcoin is hovering around that price, okay? Having recovered from 80K last week, etc. So understand this, okay? And then number two, which is very important, actually one of the most important things you can do. I've lost money not coming to this part. When I started out, I was in a hurry to take trades, not understanding the rules. You want to understand rules. Rules can be a factor that can give you money and make you lose money even if you are right. You can lose a lot of money even if you're right. This market will resolve to yes if any Binance 1 minute candle, okay? So you want to follow Binance candle, okay? Bitcoin, BTC, USDT, not BTC, USD. So if you look at the markets I follow here, this is BTC, USDT, not USD, okay? And I'm looking at Binance. If I come here to Ethereum, I'm looking also at Binance because this market rules come from Binance. How Binance, not any other market. You might go and think you're following another, maybe Coinbase or another exchange, but they're taking their data from Binance, okay, at this certain time, okay? And remember, their time zones are different. This is time zone ET, okay, which is different for Kenya. So for the Kenyan time, the price is different. So you want to look at those things, okay? Really dive deep. I never take any trade without understanding the rules, okay? So you want to look at that. Market with volume, market you understand, market that you've done some research on, and market that you understand the rules. So you want to do that. Any market, okay, any market you're trading, understand the rules, get to know when the market is ending, because I normally see some people taking trades when market is about to end. Let's say, for example, will Bitcoin be up and down on April 16th, okay? Today is April 16th. You come here, but you don't know what time. You think April 16th in Kenya is going to end at midnight. No. In Kenyan time, this one resolves at around 7 p.m. because this market will resolve to up if market for candlestick BTC at 12 p.m. ET, noon, okay? Noon, not during the night, noon, ET. That is 7 p.m. Kenyan time, okay? So depending on where you are in the world, this you should understand the rules, look at the time, because there was a time I took this trade thinking 12 p.m. was midnight. And I took this trade at around like 5 because I was expecting. I found markets at a very low price and was wondering why are people not buying this thing. So I bought it just for markets to resolve in the next hour or two. And I lost my money like that. And I'd put quite some money. So you see, if you don't understand what you're doing, then you're going to lose money here and there just by not understanding something simple. Okay? So any market, all markets have rules. Be it sports, politics, any market has rules. Okay, so make sure you understand the rules. So as you're trading, for my new traders who have just started trading Polymarket, for the video for today, I just wanted to focus on that. Get to know the markets you're trading, understand them. For me, I have certain rules that I've come up with that I share with the private students on how I trade, how I approach markets, the markets that I trade, okay? So I'm not trading every market. And why am I trading those markets? And how do I get an edge? Which websites do I use to get data, information? How am I analyzing the market here? How am I able to get understanding and make money out of these markets? Because there are many traders who've lost a lot of money. And I'll come here and show you. So if you come to the leaderboard, there are many people that followed here. The people who've made money, the people who've lost. If you look at this month alone, okay? Now, this is a leaderboard where you can just come to look at maybe motivational purposes. But for me, I don't use it for motivational purposes. I use it to get information of how these guys are making this money, okay? So you want to come and look at this guy. If I click on him, he's made almost $700,000 plus. When did this guy join? Just March. Okay, just this month he's made already this amount of money. I can come look at his running positions. I can look at his activity where he's already had closed positions and the markets that he's made this amount of money. There's another website that I teach my students how you can take this guy's information and or rather account okay, which is just here, where you can copy the address, go to another website and use that data, or follow, or it breaks down the trades, that is each and every trade, how to analyze, how to follow you. So you tend to study these traders and how they're making money, and then sort of you can also follow them and see how they can trade. When they take a trade, maybe you're following them, because when I find these guys with big money, okay, who's put a lot of money in, okay, it normally shows me or indicates to me that there's something this guy knows. You can't just come and put 200,000 bucks on the table, not understanding what is happening in this market. Well, don't get me wrong, they could lose. Just because you put a lot of money doesn't mean you're the winner. You could lose. But I dive deeper to understand, what is this person doing? What is their success rate in trading? So I can look at all that data, and I teach my guys in the private course and look at that and how can we take advantage of that. Okay, so I normally come there, I just look at leaderboard. You want to look at, okay, this guy has made that amount of money. Real guy here has lost money. He's lost 640,000. So you want to come here and say, okay, what's this guy doing? Like this is one of the silliest things I saw this person doing. He put $234,000 that Bitcoin will be down on April 12th. Now, my friend, if you don't understand what you're doing, and you can see this guy just joined in April, if you don't understand what you're doing in this market, you will lose all your money. If this trade actually worked, he had bought $600,000 shares, he will have made a lot of money. But I'm here to tell you, just like trading any platform, you can lose all the money you have. This was one of the silliest things this guy ever did, because this was a daily market. He put all that money. I don't know where he got that information from. This is a market that you can't have deep information about. Markets could shoot up or down unless you have access to Trump's administration, where if they say something, it can cause markets to move up or down 10%. But that is rare also. So you want to look at markets that you have understanding and information that you have control over. This is trading, man. Anything can happen. Bitcoin could go up, could go down. We have no control. There's no one who at the end of the day can say, look guys, today crypto is going to be down. They can be lucky 1 or 2 times. But overall, in the long term, this was one of the silliest trades I've ever seen. So I also study these traders. I want to analyze them, and I share with my students, okay, these are things you want to look at. These are things you want to avoid. These things, okay, I take it to the other website where it can give us the number of trades, success rate, and those are important things you want to look at. How much money they've made, how much money they've lost, and all that. But this was one of the silliest things I've ever seen, and this guy just lost this. And this is just one. You can see it's down 600. So there are much more things he did that I won't get into in this video. So you can see the other guy has made 700,000. This guy has lost 600,000. So what makes an trader tick? So if you approach this market not understanding what you're doing, and that's why I try and avoid you guys from doing that. Understand the course, go through the course, understand something, understand risk management, understand approach, how to take profits, how not to gamble your money away. Because in any stock market, any trading market, if you approach the forex market without understanding what you're doing, you're gambling. You lose your money. Stock market, the same. Bonds market, the same. Commodities market, the same. Predictive and information market, the same thing. Okay? But at the same time, the guys who are making money in the long term. So that was just to bring you up to date. I'll be sharing a video with you guys every week just to bring you up to date with what is happening, what I'm looking at. I share more with this private students, of course, but I'll also be sharing more with the community as large so that you can understand what is going on. I'll be bringing you up to date also with how next market is happening, because there's a big edge that is not being utilized, where people are not taking advantage, or there's no market that is giving us access to the African market. Okay, and things that are happening in Africa. If you come to things like Polymarket, it's just access to data out there. Okay, in the west, in the east, but they've sort of jumped over Africa, and there's nothing that is happening. There's no African elections market. There's purely nothing. It's like we're out of the grid. So that's what, if you read here, that's what we're trying to do with the next market in the long term. So you being part of the community, being part of the group, is helping that reality come to fruition, not only as a business, but to help you guys, okay, to get you guys access, because those are markets you have better information at. So those are things we're trying to do. So that's basically it. Share this video with a friend, share with someone who you think might be interested, and let the community grow. Give them the link to the WhatsApp group, let everyone join, and let's have a blast here and learn from one another. So that's it from this video. I'll see you in the next video next week. Stay informed, guys. Always keep learning.